a series of videos detailing how quality precast concrete septic tanks are made and delivered. This video is the first video in a series of 3 showing how concrete tanks are stripped and set up for delivery. There's no indication how this is how tanks are properly done, but it's the way we do it at Dalmaray, and we'd like to show the world what we do. So let's get started. What you are seeing is the live-action Dalmaray production floor. Production team member Kyle Austin is preparing to strip the 1,300-gallon tank. First, he will apply air to pop the 300-gallon core out of the mold. He'll then move the core over to a safe location so it can be prepped for reset. Now Kyle will bring the crane over and strip the 1,000-gallon chamber, similar to how he did the 300-gallon chamber. As Kyle is stripping the cores in the 1,300-gallon tank, he is checking to make sure there are no defects found in the concrete piece, as well as any defects on the steel that could inhibit a pour next time. Kyle is now grabbing the proper lifting bar for lifting the tank out of the jacket and onto the floor for final preparation. As Kyle is lifting the piece out of the jacket, he is making sure to check that the piece will not go over any people or any existing formwork to ensure safety of all employees and forms in the facility. He will then place the piece centered on some boards in front of the door so that a forklift can pick the piece up and carry it out to the inventory yard. Depending on the style of tank, some accessories may need to be placed in it in order for it to work properly. What Kyle is doing now is attaching a plastic baffle to the inlet side of the tank in order to prevent backflow into the main septic line. He is attaching the baffle with 6 stainless steel nail-ins. What Kyle is doing now is rolling out butyl tar tape sealant. This sealant ensures a proper seal between the tank itself and the lid that goes on top. Note the 2 baffles inside the 1,000-gallon chamber. These baffles help prevent backflow into the main septic line and help prevent accumulation of solids in the 300-gallon chamber, which could cause a filter clog. This brings us to the first QC checkpoint. QC member Aaron will now check over the tank for any visual defects, cracks, also ensuring that all proper accessories are put in the tank and the sealant is put on properly. Now production team members Dave and Kyle will be lifting the septic tank lid out of the mold moving it over to the tank, and placing it properly on top of the tank. What Kyle is doing now is cleaning off any excess that may have remained from pouring. Cleaning this off ensures a proper seal between the tank and the lid. Again, as they are moving the piece, they are taking a path that leads them across the least amount of forms and not around any people that may be working. This ensures the safety of all of our workers. As team member Dave lowers the lid on top of the tank, team member Kyle will act as a guide, ensuring that the lid is lowered properly and goes around the lifters and seals on top of the tank tightly. Team member Kyle will now use the proper forklift to pick up the tank and carry it out to the inventory yard. After finding the proper location for the septic tank, Kyle will now place it on the ground. He is checking to make sure that the boards are placed under the tank properly, so the tank does not tip or rock when he sets it down on the ground in its final location. Proper board location is also important in order to prevent chipping when the forklift backs out from the tank. Kyle is now carefully backing the forklift out as the tank is in its final location and awaiting for delivery. A final QC check is done to ensure the tank was yarded properly and no damage occurred during yarding. QC member Aaron will give the tank a final look over and make sure the tank is properly done. He will then give it the OK for delivery. With that, this concludes our first movie, How to Strip and Set Up a 1,300-gallon Tank. Again, this is no indication of how a septic tank should be properly done, but it is the way that we do it at Dalmaray. I'd like to thank my production team members that were involved in this project, and thank you for viewing. Please take the time to check us out on the web, www.dalmarayconcreteproducts.com. Thanks for your time.